Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the IWN YouTube channel. I'm your host, IWN, when we are live for the WWE Smackdown AEW Rampage review. And plus, we got a little bit of news coming out of Smackdown and Rampage. I got some news on Roman Reigns, Dakota Kai, Vince McMahon, Butch, known as Pete Dunne. I also have some news on a WWE superstar suffering possible injury during SmackDown. I got some news on Thunder Rosa, as well as some news on the AEW Fight Forever video game. And last but not least, I have some news on AEW adding a Jon Moxley segment to next week's Dynamite. We're going to go over all that after the review. First things first, before we get on with the review here, if you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell for all notifications. I hope you guys can be able to see me now. We actually have a new router, I guess. It's not really a router, but it's an AT&T Smart Wi-Fi gateway. We have an AT&T Smart Wi-Fi gateway and an AT&T Smart Wi-Fi extender. So now, the question is, will that extender be able to work for YouTube game streaming tomorrow when I stream WWE 2K22? Yes, folks, I said it. I will officially be streaming WWE 2K22. I'll be back to streaming that game tomorrow afternoon. So be in the live chat for that. I have not went all the way through the roster yet. I can tell you right now, from streaming WWE 2K22 4 times, I've already tried out the likes of AJ Styles, Austin Theory, Angelo Dawkins, Apollo Crews, and much more. So, next week, we have a busy weekend coming up next week. Next weekend, guys, my WWE Clash at the Castles watch-along will be live, as well as my WWE NXT versus NXT UK Worlds Collide watch-along. And I will also be scheduling an All Out watch-along as well. We will be watching All Out. All of us will be watching All Out together. You guys will get to listen to All Out while I watch it. So it's going to be a big, busy weekend for me, as well as the SmackDown watch along. That will also be live, and then it'll be live this Friday night coming up. So we got all that, so much more content coming to the channel this week coming up. I can't wait. It's going to be great. Like I said, I hope you all are in the live chat for all those watch-alongs because it's going to be great. And I'm also going to be live with the WWE Clash at the Castles review as well as the All Out review as well. I got a lot of stuff to do, man. It's going to be a busy weekend next weekend for me, man. For every YouTube wrestling content creator, I can tell you right now, it's going to be a legit busy weekend. Next weekend is going to absolutely kill it. Next weekend, it's got some loaded matches in professional wrestling for next week. And NXT versus NXT UK Worlds Collide, we have Tyler Bate versus Braun Breaker. They're unifying the NXT UK and NXT championships. We got Miku Satomura versus Mandy Rose versus Blair Davenport. The NXT UK Women's Championship and the NXT Women's Championships are going to be unified. There will be more matches booked for Worlds Collide. They just haven't been booked yet. There's only 2 matches on the card so far. I haven't checked out the card for All Out, but I will keep you guys up to date on that. I'll let you guys know the card for All Out when I stream WWE 2K22 tomorrow live on YouTube tomorrow afternoon. We got a stacked show tonight. So again, I will go over all the news with you guys after the review. And again, hit that subscribe button if you're new. Turn that bell for all notifications, so you don't miss a single watch along and a single review that goes live each and every single week. Also, hit that thumbs up. Hit the like button on the stream. Let's get at least 5-6 likes on the stream. I'd really appreciate it. Actually, let's get 6 likes on the stream. 6 likes. 6 likes on the stream today. 6 likes on the stream tonight. Now, we're going to go ahead and get to the AEW. Or not AEW. I said AEW. Damn it. I'm thinking of, when I say AEW, I'm thinking of Dynamite, because this week's episode of Dynamite definitely delivered. We are going to start off with WWE Smackdown. We're going to start off with the Smackdown review here. So, Smackdown kicked off with Ricochet versus Happy Corbin, known as Happy Garbage, because his fucking gimmick is terrible. We know that. We know Corbin's gimmick is terrible, but he is very, very good in the ring. That we do know, pretty much. He's a former Globe boxing or whatever. But anyways, 2 weeks after Ricochet scored a victory over Happy Corbin, the one and only sought to make it 2-0 against his rival as they clashed in the night's first match. Now, Corbin dominated his opponent throughout the majority of the bout, using his strength and size advantage to overwhelm the smaller Ricochet. The former Intercontinental Champion fought back from behind, though, and fended off the onslaught to score the win with a shooting star press. That was one of the best shooting star presses I've ever seen. That was fucking brilliant from Ricochet. Now that Triple H is in charge, Ricochet's going to get his push now again. And you love to fucking see it, man. Absolutely love to see it. The match was another reminder of how beyond the easily dislikable heel personnel Corbin is. A damn good professional wrestler whose talents and abilities are defiantly underrated. But I'm sorry. Oh man, I'm sorry to say, bro, but his fucking gimmick is fucking garbage. God, they need to get rid of his fucking gimmick. His gimmick is terrible. They need to turn things around for Happy Corbin and give him his lone wolf character back. That gimmick is so awful. Absolutely awful. Even Tino's Time would agree with me on this. This shit sucks. This shit sucks, man. I cannot wait for them to give him his lone wolf character back. I like that entrance with that. Yeah, I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Anyway, often linked in with other big men. His speed and agility, that is nearly unmatched, and has proved he could keep up with Ricochet across 2 matches. He actually reminded me of Omos last night, to be honest. His downward spiral, which started with his loss to Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania and continued through SummerSlam against Pat McAfee. You guys thought I was going to say Ronda Rousey. That's what you guys thought I was going to say. No, I wasn't going to say that. Pat McAfee will make for one of the most interesting stories on the Blue brand in the coming weeks. For Ricochet, it is about time he has the opportunity to go on a run that pretty much highlights his abilities and allows him to mount a few wins along the way. He is too good to waste away in mediocrity, as was the case over the last 2 years or so. So yes, this was one of the best things on SmackDown this week, just because Ricochet and Corbin are good at what they do in the ring. Not only Ricochet has speed and agility, but Corbin has speed and agility too. I just said. You didn't hear that from me. Or actually, you did. But they both have speed and agility. Ricochet can get it done as a high flyer on the top rope. Corbin is just a striker. In my opinion, Corbin's a striker. Corbin likes to punch. He likes to kick. He likes to whoop ass. I consider Corbin as a striker. He's not the best striker in the WWE, but he can get it done in the ring, for sure. It's just they need to change his gimmick. His gimmick is god-awful. Pat McAfee appeared genuinely and pleasantly surprised that New Day was not, in fact, dead, despite last week's Viking funeral. In a humorous start to the show, Corbin delivered a gorilla press slam to Ricochet, driving him into the announce table. Oh boy, talk about top moments. Even McAfee could not resist putting his athleticism over. Now, McAfee, ladies and gentlemen, teased that Corbin may revert to his boom-ass Corbin persona, considering how immensely entertaining and character was. The character he is right now is not entertaining. Happy Corbin, more like happy garbage. That shit sucks, man. I don't like it. Anyways, guys, it was hardly bad. It was very, very bad. It was a bad thing. Just like it's a bad thing that WWE booked this second chance fatal four-way tag team match. I mean, who the fuck gives a shit about the WWE women's tag team titles? They need to get rid of the fucking women's tag team titles. Burn them if you have to, man. There are no legit tag teams in the Raw and SmackDown Women's division. There shouldn't be anyway, because it makes no sense to have women's tag teams. I don't know who the heck asked for these WWE women's tag team titles, but they have got to go. They've got to get off television effective immediately. Anyways, a video package looking at Drew McIntyre's journey back to Cardiff and his shot at the undisputed WWE Universal Championship aired, followed by his imminent promo from Karrion Kross. Man, one of my favorites. One of my favorites with one of my favorite entrances in WWE, man. Karrion Kross threatened his ability to end the Scottish Warrior whenever he wants. Back in the arena. Guys. A second chance fatal four-way tag match pitted Shotzi and Xia Li against Nikki A.S.H. and Doudrop, Natalya and Sonya Deville, and Dana Brooke and Tamina. Could you guys imagine Tamina going to Impact? Nobody gives a shit about Impact. I know I don't. I know JD doesn't. I know his fan base doesn't either. Nobody cares about Impact. Nobody. Impact is fucking garbage. Impact is trash without Kurt Angle, Bobby Lashley, Jeff Hardy, Sting, and Samoa Joe. I'm telling you now. Everybody on that roster is terrible. Absolutely terrible. Bottom of the barrel. There are a lot of female and male superstars on the Monday Night Raw and SmackDown women's and men's rosters that are better than half of the fucking male and female talents that are on the Impact men's and women's roster. I'll tell you that right now. So it says the winners will earn their way to the semifinals of the Women's Tag Team Championship Tournament. Man, I wish they would have never had a tournament. I mean, Toxic Attraction are out. Out with an injury. I mean, that's fucking sad. It sucks. Toxic Attraction were on their way to winning and becoming the new or two-time women's tag team champions. The reason why I say two-time is because they were the NXT women's tag team champions over on NXT. They would win the tag team champions a second time. But this would be their first WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. Because remember, over on NXT, Gigi Dolan and JC Jane, they were not the first NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, but in my eyes, they were the second. But the winners would earn their way replacing Tosca the Trashian, who were removed following an injury of Gigi Dolan. The action started quickly, very, very quickly, with Tamina throwing a super kick on former partner Natalya. The action devolved soon after, culminating with a superplex from Brooke to A.S.H. and Deville. Now pinning the superhero wannabe for the win in a sprint of a match. It became apparent that this match was going to suffer when it was announced prior to it that the winners would battle Raquel Gonzalez. I was going to say Smiley Raquel. That's what I was going to say, but I ended up saying Raquel Gonzalez. Raquel Gonzalez and Aaliyah later tonight for the right to go to Raw and compete in the finals of the tournament. And it did. There was nothing to it, and it was a rushed mess with moves and little else stretching it all together. That's the way to put it. The superplex spot was fun, but it appeared as though A.S.H. hurt her ankle on the bump. At least Deville scoring the win came off a slick blind tag spot. Gave the impression that there was some thought process at play here. Yes, definitely. This Fatal 4-Way match was not all that good. I'm telling you right now, it really wasn't. It really was not that fucking good at all. Michael Cole recalled Tamina and Natalya's prior tag team and their championship run at the start of the Fatal 4-Way after the former leveled the later at the opening bell. The McIntyre video package was extraordinarily executed and the sort of thing that would significantly help others on the roster get over. Of course, I'm talking about the video package from McIntyre. It was absolutely brilliant, absolutely good. They nailed it out the park. One of the best video packages that you would ever watch on a weekly TV episode of SmackDown. Typical Triple H thing right there. That's not a Bruce and Vince thing. That's a fucking Paul Levesque thing. That video package was absolutely a Paul Levesque thing. No question about it. Sheamus promo. His promo was really good. Sheamus cut a good promo on SmackDown last night. Really, really good. So ahead of his battle with Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship, the one title in WWE that has eluded him over the last 12 years, Sheamus hit the ring alongside Butch and Ridge Holland to address the hotly anticipated showdown. The Celtic Warriors trash talk drew the ring general's attention and associate, should I say, Ludwig Kaiser to the squared circle while Holland attempt to hold Butch back. Let me at him, Scoop! Is that thing JD says on his review? Let me at him! Let me at him! Adam Scoop. I gotta admit, that's true. He is acting like a Scooby-Doo character from the Scooby-Doo movie. That's who Butch is literally acting like. Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo! Scooby was a Scooby snack. Scooby-Dooby-Doo! What happened, Scoop? Seriously, man, they really got to give Pete Dunne his Bruiserweight character back. That fucking gimmick Pete Dunne has is absolutely awful. I would be happier to see the Bruiserweight gimmick back. That's what we all want as fan base, right? That's what we all need to see on SmackDown television. The Bruiserweight gimmick is one of my favorite character gimmicks in WWE, man. I felt like Pete Dunne nailed it in the park, man. He got his push. He was able to become the first NXT UK men's champion. Look at the title reign he had as NXT UK men's champion. That's a long-ass fucking title reign, man, he had over there in the NXT UK. Jeez Louise. Sheamus and Gunther stacked their claim for a win at pretty much the Clash at the Castle on September the 3rd. I will be live with the WWE Clash at the Castle's watch along that day. So be in the chat for that. But anyway, Sheamus and Gunther stacked their claim for a win at Clash at the Castle on September 3rd before Butch unloaded on Kaiser. Champion and top contender stared each other down, unbothered and unfazed by what was going on around them as the segment came to an end. That is going to be a fucking banger. Gunther versus Sheamus. I said it on my watch-along, my SmackDown watch-along last night, and I'm going to say it again. Gunther versus Sheamus is going to be a fucking banger. That is going to be one of the best matches, I believe, in my opinion. One of the best matches WWE Clash at the Castle's pay-per-view. Just based on what I saw. Just based on what you guys saw. You guys that watch SmackDown that's watching the SmackDown Rampage review right now. Based on what we saw, man. That was a fucking absolute fire doping stare down between Gunther and Sheamus. Holy shit, I can't wait for this match. I can't wait for this match next week. This shit's gonna fucking rule, man. I'm telling you, man. Holy shit. A feud that's not ruling is the New Day and the Viking Raiders. They're not vicious. You fucking Viking staying geeks in the community. They ain't vicious. No, they not. No, they're not. Cut the shit with that vicious Viking Raiders shit. And that fucking that fucking sound. What is that? Sounds like a fucking turkey robot, man. The hell is that shit? It's like one of them robot turkeys. Backstage, Megan Morant caught up with Natalya and Sonya Deville, who talked about the Women's Tag Team Championship tournament while Nikki Trash and Doudrop had an animated argument in the background. The promo segment was, I guess it was good. I mean, it wasn't all that bad. Pretty much in between good and bad. But not because of the content. It was the unique visual of Sheamus and Gunther staring each other down. Neither flinching despite all that was occurring around them. Folks, I'm joking. All jokes aside, for real, this fucking promo segment was great. It was great. Now, I thought at first, I thought they meant the Natalya and Sonya Deville interview. But now I realized what they meant was the stare down between Gunther and Sheamus. I talked about this. I said that was one of the firing doping stare downs between Gunther and Sheamus I've ever seen. The match is going to be a banger. It's going to deliver. And it's going to be something that the UK fans will never forget. Something the Irish WWE fans will never forget. Something the fucking Australian fans will never forget, man. Jesus fucking Christ, man. This match is going to be so fire, dude. Just you guys watch next week. If it gets produced right, if the match gets booked right, that's the most important right there. If the shows get written right, too. That's another important thing. That was a great bit of business that put over what is sure to be an intense fight between them. The background stuff between A.S.H and Doudrop was great and continues a trend Triple H has implemented of making fans pay attention to everything because you never know what will develop. You want to talk about a trend? Let's talk about all these women showing their fucking bodies in their fucking bikinis. All these fucking versions out here talking about, oh, these women in these fucking bikinis are trend on Instagram and shit. You guys are some fucking comedians. You guys are funny, man. Seriously. You guys are absolutely hilarious. Anyways. So Triple H has implemented of making fans pay attention to everything because you never know what will develop or come out of even the most minute segment. Now, this is real top moments right here. This is a real top moment. Sheamus trying to get a banger chant going in response to his history of show-stealing performances, only for the fans to stay quiet, was unintentionally hilarious. Indeed it was. I didn't laugh, though. You didn't see a laugh out of me on my SmackDown watch-along last night. Sheamus, the ring general, will break you. Gunther exclaimed. Butch exploded from out of nowhere, attacking Kaiser while Sheamus and Gunther remained motionless, staring each other down in the middle of the ring despite the other chaos around them. Yes, we know that already. Just wanted to read it in case none of you guys got it, or in case anybody understands or don't understand. In case you're autistic like me and don't really understand what a review is or what I'm reading. Even if you don't understand what kind of opinion I'm giving you here. So backstage, Roman Reigns continued to manipulate Sami Zayn, convincing him to keep Drew occupied when the two of them meet in the main event in the arena. Bayley joined Cole and McAfee on commentary. Ooh. While Io Sky and Dakota Kai stood by. I think I'm going for Io Sky and Dakota Kai in this women's tag team tournament. I think they're going to win. I absolutely think they're going to win those championships. We could see Io Sky and Dakota Kai versus Sasha Banks and Naomi for either WrestleMania or for the Royal Rumble. Who knows? Who knows? You never know. Enjoying a front row seat. The Women's Tag Team Championship Tournament semifinals between Sonya Deville and Natalya and the team of so I say Smiley Raquel and Aaliyah. A Mickey No2 driver to Aaliyah on the floor allowed the heels to size control entering the commercial break. Is it me or is it the fact that Aaliyah has done not a single fucking thing in the ring last night? She didn't do shit. She didn't do jack shit in that ring. She really did. Aaliyah needs to be back in the Performance Center training. That's where she needs to be. She needs some more training. Desperately, really bad. She needs more training really bad. She really does. She is not getting it done good in the ring at all. And that fucking reversal we saw her do in the ring, she got that shit from Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan taught her that. I know she was training. I know Liv Morgan was training her, giving her that fucking reversal that she did in the ring. That flip over reversal, man. That whoop! You missed! Yeah. That midget Uncle Driver to Aaliyah on the floor allowed the heels to size control, entering the commercial break. A double suplex by Rodriguez. Gonzalez. Smiling Raquel allowed for a short comeback before the former WWE official Deville drove her face first into the top turnbuckle. Gonzalez fought the majority of the match on her own thanks to Aaliyah's strategy to make it back into the match. The second generation competitor proved resilient, overcoming the numbers disadvantage to win with a Tajada Bomb. I call it the Tajada Bomb. Some of these geeks in the community call it the Tajana Bomb. But again, I call it the Tahana Bomb. Because that's what it was called. That's what Michael Cole called it on commentary. Michael Cole, you fucking geek. Anyways, the match was a great showcase for Rodriguez, who looked like a world beater as she absorbed everything her opponents threw at her and still came back to win. Aaliyah been taken out of the match early on was a blow to her credibility, especially when she failed to recover from that one bump to compete in the match again. That right there, that alone is enough to tell you she needs to go back to the Performance Center and needs to undergo more training. Because she is awful in the ring. Get her back in the Performance Center and teach her more moves. Teach her more things in the ring that she needs to learn. Because she is definitely going to need it. She and Rodriguez are a solid baby, or they're not really a solid baby face team. I mean, they're a paired up team to me. They're more like a paired up team. And they are not the perfect opponents. Well, Raquel is the perfect opponents for Kai and Sky, but not Aaliyah. This coming Monday on Raw. The match should be very good and will place the women's tag team champions in the spotlight that Sasha Banks and Naomi fought for prior to their walkout. Speaking of who, might the former champs make their presence felt on Raw just 5 days before Clash at the Champions. Or Clash at the... I said Clash at the Champions. Clash at the Castles. Do you guys think Sasha Banks and Naomi will make their return to WWE? Let me know in the live chat or in the comments below after the stream if you guys think that Sasha Banks and Naomi are going to make the return to the WWE and win those WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. I think they are. I don't know about you guys. I think they are. Personally, I do. Rodriguez and Aaliyah, of course, defeated Natalya and Sonya Deville. Now, Cole's defeated Oh No when Bayley's music played was fantastic. Bayley told Cole that he is lucky to have her, Kai and Sky, on SmackDown. Yeah, just like I'm lucky that Lacey Evans is not on our television. Boy, if they brought Lacey Evans back, I think I would be changing the channel faster than a cheetah can run. Because Lacey Evans is also awful. Aaliyah suspiciously jumped into the ring to celebrate with her partner, suddenly unaffected by the injury that plunged her for the entire match. Either it is a hint of a potential heel turn or consistent work from those involved. Is she going to go back to the bad bougie gimmick? Because that's what she was when she was a heel, aligning herself with Vanessa Bourne over back on NXT. Could be. They could be turning Aaliyah back heel. You never fucking know. You never fucking know what Triple H has planned and has his sleeves. The only time you find out is when the news come out on Triple H or on Aaliyah or on various employees that's employed by the WWE. That's the only time you'll find some answers. In my eyes, anyway. So, what did you guys think of the New Day return? I really didn't care for this. I really didn't. I really didn't. Backstage, Maxine Dupree recruited Luz Lotharios to help Maximum Male Models with their issues with Hit Row, whose music interrupted an important photo shoot. Back in the ring, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods cut a somber promo. I don't know if I call it a somber. I think I call it a sober promo. Recalling watching their legacies burned to the ground by the Viking Raiders. They're not vicious, you fucking Vikings, WWE stain geeks in the Twitter, Instagram, Facebook community. They're not Vikings. All right, they're not vicious. They are Viking Raiders, but they're not vicious. Eric and Ivar ridiculously interrupted and were far too confident in their brutal of the legendary tag team. So again, they were far too confident in their real of the legendary tag team. Woods rose from the wheelchair unbeknownst to the heels, tossed Kingston a candlestick and joined his partner in unloading on the big man before standing tall to close out the segment. So Woods rising from the chair was reminiscent of Linda McMahon at WrestleMania X7. Pretty much the same when they mean by X7 is 7. So Linda McMahon at WrestleMania 7, in the instance, the evil Mr. McMahon expected his estranged wife was heavily medicated. I don't even want to talk about Mr. McMahon. I hope he rots in jail. Releasing all those fucking talent. Releasing those 200 talent that could have been put in better suitable roles. Fucking ridiculous, man. Seriously. Get the fuck out, Vince McMahon. Get out! Evil Mr. McMahon expected his estranged wife was heavily medicated, only to find out the hard way when she rose from her chair and kicked him low. Considering Woods was rocking the NWO Wolfpack themed New Day shirt, it may have also been a nod to Kevin Nash's fake injury turned sneak attack from WCW. Either way, and that was back in the day, by the way. I think that was back when I wasn't even born yet. Either way, this was an effective segment that finally got some heat back on New Day after weeks of them being beaten down and squashed by the heels. Backstage, Maximum Male Models. The nasty Maximum Male Models defects what they thought was Hit Row's party bus, only to find out it was the Street Profits. Man, that would have been a good time for the Street Profits to jump the Maximum Male Models just for riding Hit Row Sucks on the right side of their bus. I mean, I'm just saying. I ain't gonna lie. The only good thing on this segment, the only good thing in the segment, honestly, was Woods cleverly tipping off things, heading with the NWO style shirt. That was the only good thing. It was a great touch and one of those little things that elevate the segment. That was the only thing in the segment. Everything else was fucking awful. Absolutely awful. I don't know how anybody in the wrestling community would enjoy a fucking segment like this. I don't understand. I don't understand. Why would you enjoy a segment like this? When the only good thing on the segment was Xavier Woods with his NWO style shirt. Talk about elevating a segment. Jesus Christ. That doesn't get any better than what it was last night. The second part of the Drew McIntyre video from early in the night aired with the number one contender promising Roman Reigns the tribal chief. He's in God mode right now. He's ahead of the table. He's the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. He would kick his fucking head off and defeat him to win the undisputed WWE Universal Championship at Clash at the Castles. A physical start to the night's main event between McIntyre and Sami Zayn escalated until the latter delivered a sunset flip powerbomb from the top rope, entering the commercial break. Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre was way better than that second chance fatal four-way women's match. Holy shit. That shit sucked. That fatal four-way women's match. That was it. The only best things in that match were Sonya Deville, Xia Li, and Shotzi Blackheart. That's it. That's why you think I got them. Why you think I had them on my background? Why do you think I had them on the thumbnail? They're my favorites. They were the only best three things in the match. Natalya, Tamina, and Dana Brooke. The rest of them they did absolutely terrible in the ring. And I'm not a fan of Natalya at all. Let alone Dana Brooke, Tamina, and Nikki. Trash. And Doudrop. I actually made Piper Niven on WWE 2K20 last year, just so you all knew, or just so you know. And I actually made Tegan Knox as well on WWE 2K20. I've redesigned a lot of superstars that was supposed to be on WWE 2K20. A whole lot of them. But that sunset flip powerbomb for the top rope was fucking great. It was brilliant. Man, it was brilliant as a shooting star, man. That's how great it was. Driven by the desire to earn the Tribal Chief's approval, Zayn took the fight to McIntyre. Oh, I'm just joking. Stop with the goddamn shit, IWN. Seriously, man. Cut the shit. You sounding like a geek now. The Scottish Warrior, ever the resilient and badass babyface, fought off his determined opponent in interference from the Usos to deliver the Claymore and scored the pinfall victory. Reigns hit the ring. He hit the ring after the match. But, listen to this. Drew McIntyre sent him into the ring post. He cleared the attacking Usos, the bloodline, after the match. Reigns delivered the spear. Jimmy and Jay unloaded steel chair shots about the body of the top contender before sending him over the announce table. And I noticed Paul Heyman was not on SmackDown last night. Note that, folks. Why do you think Paul Heyman wasn't on SmackDown? Could he be returning back to his roles as executive director for Raw and SmackDown? Could be. That could be a huge sign. That might explain why he was not on SmackDown last night. He wasn't on the show at all. I wouldn't be surprised if the news come out on Paul Heyman taking his role back as executive director for Raw and SmackDown. So be on the lookout for that news, because that may come out sooner rather than later. Because you know it's going to happen. Now that Triple H is head of creative and talent relations. And soon to be chairman. If he isn't already. Jimmy and Jay unloaded steel chair shots about the body of the top contenders before sending him over the announce table. They sent him into the guardrail. Zayn delivered the rollover kick. Oh, no, I'm just joking. Let me stop. The undisputed tag champs added a few shots with the ring steps. Hey, that has a good touch. That's a good touch to it, what I said. Reigns added the guillotine, and sat in a chair over the fallen body of the babyface to close out the show. The match was as good as you would expect, given the participants with a red-hot heel beatdown. I call it a red-hot ass beatdown. Oh, snap, man. To wrap things up, even while relying on the Usos and Zayn to do his dirty work, Reigns looked utterly dominant as he choked McIntyre out and sat over his fallen body. The main event of Clash at the Castle is shaping up to be one of the hottest main events in recent memory. See, I told you, this fucking shit's gonna deliver, man. This shit ain't gonna suck. This shit is not gonna suck, man. It's gonna be one of the best pay-per-views that WWE's ever produced, man. And all these geeks in the community that say, the WWE Clash of the Castles is not gonna deliver, you guys are a bunch of fucking idiots, man. To think that the WWE Clash at the Castles pay-per-view is not going to deliver. Yeah, right. Give me a fucking break. Give me a fucking break with that shit. In my eyes, the fucking Clash at the Castles pay-per-view is going to deliver. Look at the fucking card, man. Look what matches they got on that card. If you don't think WWE Clash at the Castle is going to deliver, then you got a fucking problem. That or something is wrong with your fucking brain, or you're just fucking mentally dumb. You're just mentally dumb if you legitimately don't think the WWE Clash at the Castle pay-per-view is going to deliver. Seriously. You're on some fucking crack, cocaine, something, man. Something. Legitimately something. The main event of Clash at the Castle is shaping up to be one of the hottest main events in recent memory, and much of that can be attributed to how over McIntyre is right now. Yes, he is absolutely over, man. Talk about megastar power. Not megastar potential, but talk about megastar written all over somebody such as McIntyre. Holy shit. He looks like a guy who could defeat Reigns and end his reign at the WWE Clash at the Castles pay-per-view. I'm not going to say WWE Mountain, because I don't think it makes sense. Whether he does remains to be seen, but fans believe he can, which is the key. Next week's celebration of Reigns' 2 years as champion should be interesting, and we'll likely see a vengeful McIntyre making his presence known. Now, guys, we all know that Sami Zayn is a hell of an athlete, right? Okay, so check this out. Michael Cole said on commentary, putting him over for his performance a week ago in his hometown of Montreal. Understand me? The top of the mountain is mine, and you won't ever have it until I'm done with it, Reigns told a battered McIntyre. Take it from me, please. I want someone to take it from me now, Roman Reigns said into the camera as the show faded to black. Just like I'm going to be fading to moving on to the AEW Rampage review. Now, I'm just joking, folks. This is the end of the SmackDown review. We are actually moving on to the Rampage review now. Guys, this week's episode of Rampage was not that good. I'd take SmackDown over Rampage this week. SmackDown was more of a good show than Rampage. Rampage was fucking awful. Absolutely awful. The middle of Rampage was awful, but the beginning and the end of Rampage was awesome. The beginning of Rampage, we got the Dark Order versus House of Black. That's what kicked off Rampage. That is one of the reasons why I say Rampage was great in the beginning. Now, the reason why I say Rampage was awesome in the end is because we had Cesaro versus Dusty Rhodes. That was one of the best matches on Rampage, believe it or not, whether people like it or not. It was a great match. It was better than Wardlow versus Ryan Nemeth, I'll tell you that much. And Powerhouse Hobbs versus Ashton Day. Who the fuck is Ashton Day? I'm assuming it's a local enhancement talent, or he's from Ring of Honor or something. I don't know. Anyways, guys, moving on with Rampage. So, House of Black and the Dark Order were already in the ring and ready to go when the show started. Brody King and 10. No, I'm just joking. Let me stop. Let me stop, man. Brody King and Preston 10. Or should I say Preston Vince? I said Preston 10. Oh my God. Lord help me. Preston Vince started for their teams with an exchange of counters and power moves. It looked like Vince twisted his knee a bit. Oh my God, I'm so twisted. I don't know where that came from. So he tagged out to John Silver, while Buddy Matthews tagged in for his team. Both showed off their speed and athleticism before Malachi Black and Alex Reynolds took over. Man, I've never been this fired up in years. This was a trios tourney match, and all 6 men worked hard to make it look like they were fighting for something important. That is absolutely true. And that is one of the reasons why the beginning of Rampage was so good. Here's the other reason, folks. Check out the other reason. The pace was managed well, and it didn't draft into chaos too quickly. The AEW matches with more than 3 people always end up being wild. So this is about Defiantly had some moments like this. This bout legitimately, Defiantly had some moments like this, man. Like this one. This one right here. Thanks to a distraction from Miru, the Dark Order was able to get the win to advance in the tournament. This was a fun match and allowed all 6 men to stand over in different ways. I don't know what the fuck that noise was, but that sounded weird. It said, oh, I don't know what that was. But it was probably one of the less memorable matches in the tournament. Talk about noble moments, man. Talk about observations. Talk about huge surprises. It was hard to tell if Vince already injured his knee at first, but he stayed in the match, so it must not have been that bad. Reynolds' beard is getting bushy. It makes him look a little tougher for some reason. I don't know why. Julia Hart's presence. You want to talk about surprise? Julia Hart's presence at ringside was barely addressed by the announcers. That is surprising. Miru is very over with the crowd. AEW needs to capitalize on that soon. We got Wardlow versus Ryan Nemeth, and then we have Powerhouse Hobbs versus Ashton Day to go over. So Ryan Nemeth cut a promo on the Cleveland crowd on his way to the ring to battle Wardlow for the TNT Championship. Wardlow beat him with one big shot, followed by 4 powerhouse or power bombs to get the win. Powerhouse, 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 powerhouse. Now let me stop. Wardlow beat him with one big shot, followed by 4 power bombs. That's a lot of power bombs, man, to get the win and retain the title. And one of the most predictable outcomes in Rampage history. Talk about one of the more predictable outcomes in history. Let's talk about Kenny Omega versus Adam Hangman Page. That was one of the more predictable outcoming matches in Rampage history. Jesus fucking Christ. You want to talk about predicting outcomes, man. You want to talk about fucking predictable outcomes? Yeah, that match was predictable outcome as it gets. Now, there's not much to say here, honestly. There's really not. This was quick and somewhat, I hate to say it, guys, but it was unnecessary. It was complete bullshit. They need to just get rid of Rampage and just go with Dark, Elevation, and Dynamite. Go with Elevation, Dark, and Dynamite. That's where they need to go with this. Hold on, guys. I got a phone call. I don't know what's going on here. Sorry about that. I got a call. I had to tell them that I was doing a middle review. They were interrupting my review. It was not a good time for them to call me right now. I told them to call me after the review. Anyways, guys, where was I? Where was I? I was rudely interrupted by a call. That's why I had to pause the mic. Okay. This match between Wardlow and Quick, and it was somewhat unnecessary and complete bullshit. This match did not have anybody's interest whatsoever. I could see if Wardlow was in competition. I could see if Wardlow was defending his TNT title against Powerhouse Hobbs, guys like Keith Lee, guys like Brian Cage, matches like that. Why did we need Wardlow versus Ryan Nemeth? Who asked for this match? I'll tell you who. Nobody. Anyways, the next match was another squash, but this time it was Powerhouse Hobbs taking on a guy by the name of Ashton. I don't know who the fuck that is. The match was over just as quickly as Wardlow's bout. But at least it had more than 2 different moves. This match was also uninteresting. See, we could have got Powerhouse Hobbs versus Wardlow for the TNT Championship. I would rather watch that match than watch Wardlow and Powerhouse Hobbs squash local enhancement talent. Man, could you imagine? Could you guys imagine Wardlow defending his TNT Championship against Powerhouse Hobbs? Holy fucking shit. That would be a hell of a fucking banger. 2 powerhouses in the ring? You want to talk about real powerhouses, man? Oh, and also, could you guys imagine Wardlow defending his TNT Championship against Lance Archer? Oh my God, that would be a hell of a banger too. Even Wardlow versus Luchasaurus for the TNT Championship. You want to talk about big man, tall man? Jesus fucking Christ. Wardlow's got a lot of opponents he can face. Wardlow versus Keith Lee. Wardlow versus Sanjay Singh or whatever the fuck he is. I don't know. That 7 foot Indian geek. I don't fucking know, man. Wardlow versus Keith Lee versus Powerhouse Hobbs versus Brian Cage. Wardlow versus Luchasaurus. Take my money, man. I would rather watch Wardlow versus Powerhouse Hobbs, Wardlow versus Keith Lee, and Wardlow versus Lance Archer, man. I don't know about Wardlow versus Brian Cage. I'm not sure if that match is going to be actually good or not. I kind of doubt that match. Just because Brian Cage hasn't been used much on TV. You know, we haven't seen him we haven't seen him for the last 2 months. You know, come to think of it, Wardlow versus Brody King would be a good TNT Championship match too. Or a Brody King versus Buddy Murphy, because Buddy Murphy can pick up big man in the ring. Buddy Murphy is a big man himself. Buddy Murphy versus Wardlow would be a good match. Or Wardlow versus Miru. Hell, we can even get Wardlow versus Ethan Page. You got all these fucking talents that's just sitting in catering in AEW, man. Talents like Brian Cage and Ethan Page. Jesus fucking Christ. What are they doing with these guys on TV? I don't get it. We haven't seen these guys for like 2-3 months. We haven't even seen Luchasaurus for the last 3-4 weeks. Where is he? All we've seen is Jungle Boy and Christian Cage. No Luchasaurus. What's going on? And then you got all these allegations against Thunder Rosa again for the 2nd year in a row. As if Thunder Rosa did something wrong. Come on, man. Come on. And then Britt Baker has backstage heat. I'm going to have some news on that tomorrow. Tomorrow night, I'm probably going to do a WWE AEW Sunday night news episode. I'll probably start doing some Sunday night news episodes. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I know I plan on streaming WWE 2K22 tomorrow to try this AT&T Smart Wi-Fi gateway and this AT&T Smart Wi-Fi extender to see if it fixes the quality and it keeps it from going black to where it shows that fucking stupid globe. You guys know what I'm talking about. Hassan, Jocko, you guys in the chat know exactly what I'm talking about. Even Underground knows it because he was there the day I was streaming WWE 2K22, the day I did the full male and female roster trials 4.0. Yeah, and 3.0, not to mention. But anyways, these were nothing but squash matches. They weren't interesting. I don't know why we are getting more and more squash matches every week on Elevation. That's what I'm trying to figure out. What are these squash matches for? To build them up? To get them built heading towards their next feud or something? I mean, what is it supposed to? What is these squash matches supposed to be for? I don't understand. I don't get it. Does anybody in the live chat get it? Anybody? Hello? I don't know. They don't know. I don't know. Maybe JD knows. You know, he's one of my many inspirations. My only favorite podcaster in the IWC. Maybe he knows why Elevation is booking squash matches. Somebody knows. Somebody in the community knows, man. These squash matches on Elevation ain't getting it. These squash matches on Rampage ain't getting it either. They need to get rid of these squash matches and start booking actual matches. Real competition is what we want to see. Real in-ring action. Stop with these fucking squash matches. Stop booking local enhancement in matches that they're not going to win. You're booking them like jobbers, making them look like complete fucking idiots out there. I hate that for local enhancement. I feel bad for most of the local enhancement female and male talents because they don't get used. They don't get signed to wrestling promotions. Oh, because this person is utilized or that person's overrated, that person is fucking garbage, and you know, just ridiculous. Anyways, moving on. So Nemeth sold the symphony of powerbombs. Expertly, his brother taught him well. I don't know about that. I mean, who's a fucking fan of Dolph Ziggler? I mean, there are a lot of people in the community that used to be a fan of Dolph Ziggler, but not anymore. Not anymore. We rarely see Dolph Ziggler on TV. Anyways, why did we need Jay Lethal, Satnam Singh, and Sanjay Dutt on the stage if nothing was going to happen? That part, when I watched that match between Powerhouse Hobbs and Ashton Day, after watching that match, we saw Jay Lethal, Satnam Singh, Sanjay Dutt on the stage. And they didn't do shit. Jack shit. They were just there. See, shit like that you can't have on shows like Rampage. That is going to draw the audience away. You got to make sure you know what you're booking. You got to make sure you know what you're producing. And you damn sure got to make sure you know what you're writing. As far as SmackDown, Monday Night Raw, Dynamite, and Rampage goes. As far as these pay-per-views go. Because if you don't know what you're writing, producing, and booking, something is wrong. Something is wrong either with you or your creative team. You gotta know what you're writing, producing, and booking. Think before you do it. Think before you do something. Think before you actually speak. Don't just think and be like, oh, I'm gonna do this and that. I'm gonna fucking throw a basketball on somebody's face. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Some people are impatient. I can't be talking. I'm impatient myself, but you know. People need to think before they speak, before they book something, before they produce something, and before they write something. Every creative team needs to think before they do all that. Because if you don't think, figure out what you're going to do, you're not going to know what you're doing. Period. Period. Period with a dot on it. With a dot written all over it. Melo and Guevara put their AAA mixed tag titles on the line against Soho and Ortiz in the fourth match of the night. I don't even know why this match was booked. You want to talk about too many titles? Why is Tay Conti and Sammy Guevara bringing those titles to AEW when those titles don't even belong to AEW? See what I mean by too many titles? I don't get it. I don't get it with AEW, man. What are they doing? I don't understand. AEW was doing so good when they first started. Now things are going down south. Seems like 1 year later, things are going downhill now with AEW. What's going on? I don't get it. Most of my favorite talents are actually doing great on there, but some of the talents that are not my favorite, yeah, they're not doing great. They're not doing great. Now, some of my favorite talents, they fail. They have bad butches and bad moves in the ring every now and so, but they're still good at what they do. At least they try to do it right. There are some talents that just come in the ring and they just do so many awful moves, like Charlotte Flair. She has one of the worst moonsaults in WWE. We all know that. And to be honest, Io Shirai's moonsault is way better than Charlotte's. Bianca Belair's moonsault is better than Charlotte's. They can get it done in the ring, unlike Charlotte. Ortiz without Santana. You want to talk about something weird? Ortiz without Santana is very, very weird, very, very odd, and that it is raising red flags. Makes me wonder, is the team with Ortiz and Santana breaking up in AEW? Are they? Don't get me wrong, Ortiz is a great talent. But he's even more of a great talent when he's paired up with Santana. They are a fucking tag team. You want to talk about a tag team? Jesus Christ, man. One of the best tag teams you would ever have on the AEW tag team division. Ortiz and Santana. Now, it would be funny to see him get a chance at a singles run, but Melo is underrated when it comes to selling offense for her opponent. She has a great dazed facial expression after she takes a big hit. Well, of course she's going to have that. Of course she's going to have that. The women began their teams, but it only took about a minute before the guys were brought in. Neither team had control for long, so the match pretty much had a more competitive feel than the two squashes that preceded it. They did a good job managing the action between all four people, especially during the spots when it was man against woman. Soho and Melo usually end up winning those exchanges. Anna Jay interfered behind the referee's back and threw Soho into the steps, paving the way for Guevara to hit Ortiz with his finisher for the win. The reverse Hurricane Rana from Soho to Guevara was cool. I will admit that. They both made it look great. But it felt like they rushed through this match a whole lot. Cutting one of these squashes and giving that time to this bout would have been a better call. Seriously. Physically, mentally. Not emotionally. The Ring of Honor World Championship was on the line in the main event when Claudio put the belt up against Rose. They observed the code of honor by shaking hands before locking up. That's what Ring of Honor is all about. Ring of Honor is a different promotion, of course, as you all know. This match had a little bit of everything. They used technical exchanges, fast-paced sequences, strikes, holds, and power moves. This was the second best match on Rampage. Dark Order versus House of Black and Claudio versus Dusty Rhodes were the only two best matches that delivered on Rampage. Those were legitimately the only two things on Rampage. Everything else was not good. Not good at all. Not good. They got to do better with Rampage. That's all I can say. But they used technical exchanges, fast-paced sequences, strikes, holds, and power moves. Both guys had a chance to hit a lot of the best moves. So even though the outcome was predictable, the bout felt competitive and energetic. The end came when the champ hit a big uppercut out of nowhere to score the pin. It was a somewhat abrupt finish, but everything else about the match was great. It's great that AEW keeps bringing in Caprice Coleman to call matches involving the Ring of Honor titles. I think Caprice Coleman is the commentator for Ring of Honor, I believe. Just a reminder that Rose is 53 years old and still moves better than some guys who are half his age. That's shocking. That's surprising. I never knew that till now. Can we replace Chris Jericho with William Regal on commentary all the time? No. Maybe. Depends. Depends which one is better. Anyways, guys, that's going to end it for the Rampage review. SmackDown wins over Rampage just because Rampage only has two best things on the show. Meanwhile, SmackDown had three best parts on the show. SmackDown was more of a better show than Rampage this week. So SmackDown wins over Rampage, like I said. Anyways, guys, the review is officially done, and now we are going to move on to the news coming out of SmackDown and Rampage. The news that came out of SmackDown and Rampage, last night. There was some news that came out of Rampage and SmackDown today as well. And first things first, you know how JD says he's going to start at the top? Well, I am going to start at the bottom. I'm going to start with the WWE news at the bottom. We're going to start with the news on Roman Reigns. So, Roman Reigns is the undisputed WWE Universal Champion and has been unbeatable for the last 2 years, for a very long time now. Fans have been wondering when Roman Reigns and The Rock will battle each other at WrestleMania. Many believe a match between the two top stars would become one of the greatest matches in the history of WrestleMania, and I'm one of them. I agree. If they're produced right, written right, and booked right. If this match is booked right, yeah, take my money. Produced right, yeah, take my money. Written right, yeah, take my money. If we get the right camera shots, yeah, take my money. Now, despite all the hype, the match, it's still on the top of many fans' dream match list. Roman Reigns even called out Rock during a WWE live event. In fact, The Rock's WWE return is 100% in the plans. While speaking to Sports Illustrated, Roman Reigns was asked about the status of the match. Reigns stated that he believes there is a much better chance of the match happening now. Man, can you guys believe my mouth is dry and I haven't even had nothing to drink yet? Oh, you better believe after this, I'm definitely going to get something to drink because my mouth is dry, 0 to 100 dry. Update, it says here, and I quote, update is the Wayne's dropping it with his own project. So it's got to be pretty good. It's got to be pretty special. I think that just goes to show the clamoring, the buzz for it, the chatter for it, the wishful thinking. So it's something he divinely played into within Young Rock. As you know with him, everything is highly strategic. A lot of synergy with everything he does with the projects that he's guiding and has in mind. I would say, just based off of that alone, it looks better than the last time we spoke. And I quote, that's what Roman Reigns said. It was quoted by Roman Reigns. It should be noted that Ringside News, my sources, they will always be my sources and my good friends. My sources, good friends, Ringside News exclusively reported that The Rock is a virtual lock for WrestleMania 39. Now it appears that the match is 100% happening, so fans in California are in for an incredible show. It remains to be seen when the company will book the feud between the two. By the way, Ringside News have been my sources ever since the beginning of last year. So they still are. And they will forever be. Now, my question to you guys is, are you excited for this match? Sound off in the live chat right now if you're excited for The Rock versus Roman Reigns. Well, you know I am. All I have to do is see yeses in the fucking live chat or yeses in the comments below when the stream ends. But yes, let me know in the live chats or in the comments below after the stream ends if you're excited for Roman Reigns versus The Rock for WrestleMania 39. I really appreciate it. Now, moving on to some news on Dakota Kai. My throat feeling weird. It says here that since Vince McMahon's retirement back in July, several names were previously released, returned to WWE, and were placed on the main roster. They are all working under a new creative direction with Triple H being the man in charge. And everyone can see the distance between, or the distance differences on television. Now, however, there are strong notices as well behind the scenes. While speaking to Today FM, Raw superstar Dakota Kai praised Triple H's tenor during the black and gold era of NXT and the current reign of SmackDown and Raw by saying it's been pretty positive. She has said that the spontaneity of anything that can help or that can happen has been great to see again for the product. This is what Dakota Kai said. She says here, and I quote, "I can't speak to what it was like before because I was in NXT, but under Hunter in NXT, it was very, very, very cool and very relaxed. He took a lot of ideas on board creatively, and he was very open to anything we need, to anything we had to offer. The environment feels like that again under his control," she said. "It's a very positive environment right now, and I'm loving the spontaneity of anything can happen. We haven't had that type of feeling in WWE for a while." Kai is in a stable with Bayley and a newly renewed Io Sky since her return and has been competing in the Women's Tag Team Championship tournament with the later, where they have reached the finals. The trio will also be in action next weekend at WWE Clash when they compete against Asuka, Bianca Belair, and Alyssa Bliss. Alexa! Bliss as a complete unit for the first time. What's your take on this story, folks? Let me know in the live chats or in the comments below when the stream ends. Now, moving on to the news on Vince McMahon. Oh, God, somebody I despise. I'm not going to say somebody I hate, somebody I do hate, but you all get what I'm saying. This is somebody and I'm pretty sure you all in the chat despise and hate. Vince McMahon threatened to blacklist. He threatened legitimately to blacklist Edge and Matt Hardy from wrestling. It says here that one of the most controversial storylines to ever be seen in WWE featured WWE Hall of Famers Edge and Lita, along with Matt Hardy in real life. Lita was Hardy's girlfriend, of course. Duh, we all knew that. We all watched WWE more than anybody, so she cheated on him with Edge. This ultimately led to Matt Hardy being livid and getting fired by WWE, only to be hired back. Duh, we knew that years ago. So that he could feud with Edge and Lita back in 2005. The storyline truly blurred the lines between real life and K5, and it seems Lita is still feeling the effects of it to this day. Wow, I'm actually shocked. She's still feeling that. While speaking on the latest episode of the Stream Life of Matt Hardy podcast, Matt Hardy revealed that Vince McMahon threatened to blacklist him as well as Edge. Wow. Holy shit. This shit sucks. Oh, man. You gotta be kidding me. Vince McMahon really threatened to blacklist Edge and Matt Hardy all because of that? Come on, man. You gotta be kidding me. Vince McMahon is on some stupid shit for real. The guy is mental, man. He is just... Man. There's something wrong with Vince, man. I think he needs to go to a psychiatrist or something. He needs to go to the doctor or something, man. There's something wrong with him. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know, man. Anyhow, it says here, and I quote, this is what Matt Hardy said, and I quote, Vince McMahon, and in his mind, he was worried there's going to be tension between myself and Edge. So he called us into his office, and he was going to sit us down and talk to us, and also let us know how he wanted the finish of this match to go specifically in detail. So we walked into the room, and we were getting along good at this time. You know, there were moments where there was some tension, obviously, but Vince was going to talk to us both and make sure to lay down the law. So I remember myself and Adam, we sit in there, There is a couch across from his chair. We're sitting on opposite ends of the couch. You know, there's probably 4 feet between us. We're sitting, and the first thing Vince says, he says, Adam, Matt, you know the WWE is my company, right? He says, you know that this event, SummerSlam, is my event that I created, right? We both go, yes. He says, you know that I have rented this venue for the night, right? So this is basically my arena. My company. Do you understand that? We go, yes, Matt Hardy says. He said, you know, that wrestling ring out there. This is my wrestling ring. Do you understand that? Matt Hardy says, yes. He says, I'm going to tell you about this right now. If either one of you go out there tonight and try and take liberties with each other, if you try and intentionally hurt one another, I am the most powerful man in this industry. I promise you neither of one of you will ever work a day in this industry again. That's what Vince McMahon said. He says, do you understand? Matt Hardy and Edge go, yeah, sure. We understand. And I quote. So Edge, Matt Hardy eventually came to terms with what happened and made peace as well. For the most part, Lita has as well previously revealed that Lita still gets backlash for the storyline. Pretty much. Now, what is everybody's take on this story? Let me know in the live chat right now. That's if you understand the words that was coming out of my mouth just now about this news on Vince McMahon. And about the news on Dakota Kai and Roman Reigns. You know, the tribal chief, head of the table. WWE Universal, or WWE Undisputed Universal Champion. Yeah. I think I know more than what I'm saying here. Anyways. Moving on to the news on Butch, known as Pete Dunne. So there's some news on Butch possibly bringing back his old Bruiserweight gimmick during WWE Smackdown tapings. Well, that's because he did bring back his old gimmick. Good. I love the Bruiserweight gimmick. I hate that fucking Butch character gimmick. That gimmick is so fucking garbage. That shit is so garbage, man. It really is. Horrendous. That gimmick is an absolute failure for Pete Dunne, man. Seriously. That thing JD says, let me at him, Screw. Pete Dunne was one of the best stars in NXT UK, where he held the NXT UK champion. Yes, I did say that. For 685 days. That I did say. He made his way to NXT, where he took part in several memorable feuds and matches. Bruiserweight made his way to Friday Night SmackDown back in March. To the shock of fans, his name was changed to Butch, unsurprisingly. Fans dragged WWE for the decision. Sure, I would too. I don't fucking blame him. The name Butch sounds fucking awful, man. That is one of the most embarrassing ring names that Pete Dunne could ever have. Holy shit, man. Really bad for Pete Dunne after being given that ring name. Butch? Are you fucking serious, man? Butch? What the fuck? You wanna know what I think of Butch? You wanna know what I think of that ring name Butch? I think it's stupid. Butch previously hinted at returning to Pete Dunne now that Triple H is in charge. The tape is for next week's SmackDown. So Butch taking on Louis Kaiser in a singles match. During tapings, Butch could be seen wearing the same gear he used to wear when he was Pete Dunne. Well, I guess that pretty much confirms that Butch has Pete Dunne gear. He's back! Pete Dunne also won his match against Kaiser. Let's hope that. Let's hope he's back. Let's hope that's true. We will have to wait and see what WWE has planned for Dunne. Fans are certainly excited to see him back as the Bruiserweight, and that includes me. My God. It's been so long, man. So fucking long. And finally, he's going to get his fucking old gimmick back. It's about time. Now, put him in that fucking mid-card. Let's get Walter versus Pete Dunne for the Intercontinental Championship. God, that's going to be a fucking banger. That's a rematch we have not seen in years. That's a match we've seen only on those NXT or NXT UK pay-per-views or whatever pay-per-views that match took place in. The only time we saw Walter versus Pete Dunne was in NXT pay-per-views. It's the only time. That was it. That's pretty much it. Are you guys excited about Pete Dunne's return? Because I am. I am absolutely excited. We've been wanting to see this Pete Dunne for a fucking very, very long time now. We're finally going to get to see it now that Triple H is in charge and head of creative and talent relations. All right, the last WWE news I have is on the WWE superstar suffering possible injury during SmackDown. Be prepared to laugh because it's not just your ordinary female talent. She's a superhero. I'm guessing you guys know who this is. I certainly do. WWE is heading to the UK for Clash at the Castle. So they filmed next week's episode last night, pretty much. Sadly, an injury took place during that large show. Nikki A.S.H, Nikki Trash, has largely been involved in the tag team scene after losing the Raw Women's Championship. She was part of the women's tag team tournament recently as well. This week on SmackDown, Nikki Trash and Doudrop took on Sonya, Deville, and Natalya. Dana Brooke and Tamina and Xia Li and Shotzi Blackheart. I don't care. I'm calling it Shotzi Blackheart because that was her original name. I don't give a fuck, Vince and Bruce. You can kiss my, In a fatal four-way second chance WWE Women's Tag Team title match. That Women's Tag Team title tournament match that we saw on SmackDown just not too long ago. Earlier in the night, that match. In the end, Nikki did not finish. During the match, Brooke superplexed A.S.H from the middle rope onto a pile of wrestlers at ringside. Nikki's foot hit the barricade during the spot, which seems to be when she suffered that injury. The ending saw Deville toss A.S.H. Trash inside the ring and quickly pinning her. Following the match, Nikki was checked out by the WWE medical staff before Doudrop helped carry her to the back. As of this writing, we have not heard any death report of Nikki A.S.H. My sources ringside news are obviously hoping for the best, and I am too. I never want to see somebody like that get hurt, even though I'm not a fan of them. Despite me not being a fan of Nikki A.S.H., despite me not being a fan of her new gimmick, I love seeing her 100% healthy. I love her seeing 100% healthy, like Triple H likes to see her 100% healthy. Triple H makes sure all his talent is 100% healthy. My thoughts go out to Nikki, and hopefully she heals from this injury. Nikki and Doudrop were arguing in the background of a Sonya Deville promo segment later in the show. I don't know why they did that. It didn't make sense. Nikki seemed fine. However, this might have been taped before the match. Ringside News, my sources, will keep us up to date on her status on their website. That does it for the WWE news. Now moving on to the AEW news coming out of Rampage. Here we go, guys. We're gonna start with the Thunder Rosa. We're gonna start with the news on Thunder Rosa first. So I got news on Thunder Rosa. So Thunder Rosa was accused of berating AEW extras. So it says here on my big screen, not on the laptop, on my big screen here, that Thunder Rosa made the decision to take a break from in-ring combat while she heals from a back issue. However, some fans and commentators have conjectured that pretty much the AEW Women's World Champion has been written off of television because of rumors of tension between her and Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker backstage. Rosa has now attested to the reality of the harm, but rumors of conflict behind the scenes persist. Now, Fanbyte recently, I don't know who the fuck these people are. I guess they're wrestling sources as well. Fanbyte recently have been contradicting the accounts of Rosa's actions from a variety of sources. When I look at Thunder Rosa, I look at a photo of innocence. When I see a photo of Thunder Rosa that Ringside News has on their website, I look and I see an innocent Thunder Rosa. That's what I see. Anyways, she has a reputation for berating opponents and speaking down to co-workers, particularly veterans, according to some employees who spoke to the publication. I think some of the women in the AEW Women's Division are just simply jealous of Thunder Rosa. That's the way I see it. But that's just me. Anyways, the AEW Women's World Champion has reportedly had harsh reactions to non-contracted wrestlers who have performed on AEW Dark and AEW Elevation. One talent recalled a night where Rosa criticized her of being undertrained. Criticisms, though, have been directed at Rosa. The 36-year-old apparently vanished for some time after accidentally breaking Hayter's nose during their last battle at AEW Battle of the Belts 3. Rosa ultimately made an attempt to apologize to Hayter. I remember seeing that punch to Hayter's nose. That was brutal. I don't know if that was on purpose or an accident. Could there be some evil brewing in Thunder Rosa? I don't know. Could be, could not be. Who knows? Thunder Rosa's certainly hiding it. And she ain't showing it. According to the complaint, before shutting herself in the bathroom, the toilet story should obviously be taken with a grain of salt because, according to the Fanbyte, it may not have been connected to the Hayter event. Now, Rosa reportedly lacks several fundamental in-ring skills, according to one AEW wrestler. On the other hand, a former Lucha Underground, yes, I said it, folks, a former Lucha Underground co-worker of Rosa's rejected the notion that she is a dangerous worker, despite the fact that they did mention that she is unwilling to take bumps and sell some of her opponents' offense. Now, other wrestlers berated Rosa for working stiffly, particularly in relation to her low dropkick move. Now, My question to you guys, to everybody that's watching, is what is your takes on these allegations? What's your take on these accusations on Thunder Rosa? Do you guys think it's senseless? Do you guys think it's just all fake? Or do you guys think it's actual accusations? Or do you all just simply think that some of the AEW female talents on that roster are just simply jealous of Thunder Rosa? I think personally, I personally think that some of the AEW female talents on that roster are jealous of Thunder Rosa. You didn't hear Toni Storm's name mentioned in the article. Toni Storm has no problem with Thunder Rosa. She loves working with Thunder Rosa. She hasn't seen that out of Thunder Rosa. Haru Shida hasn't even seen that out of Thunder Rosa. So I know there are some AEW female talents in that locker room that are jealous of Thunder Rosa and her being AEW World Champion. Jealousy. That's what it is. That's the reason why Thunder Rosa is getting these accusations in the first place. Jealousy. They are jealous of Thunder Rosa and her success in AEW. That is what's happening now. That's my opinion. That's what I think of this accusation bullshit. Moving on to the news on AEW Fight Forever video game. So, I don't know if you all knew this, but AEW Fight Forever video game won the Best Sports Game award prior to release. It says here that AEW continues to grow as a pro wrestling company, and it has been successful in that regard over the last 3 decades. Over the last 3 years. Whatever what's going on between Eddie Kingston and Sammy Guevara, they need to get that shit together. And they need to be investigating Thunder Rosa's accusations, because these accusations could be from AEW female talents that are jealous of Thunder Rosa and her success and her run as AEW World Champion. Now, the company also decided to dive deep into the video game industry with their AEW Fight Forever game. The video game has now won a major award. AEW Fight Forever has won the Best Sports Racing Game award at a 2022 Gamescom Awards. AEW Games recently took to Twitter to announce their achievement and to thank the fans for their recognition and support. You guys are shaking my head. It speaks more loud than volumes. Yeah. Good for them. This game deserved it. Remember that Wednesday night I showed you guys the Kenny Omega versus Adam Cole gameplay on the AEW Fight Forever video game on AEW Games YouTube channel? Well, I'm going to show it again to you guys before I end the stream. So be ready to watch that again. I told you I was going to be showing it 2 times. I was going to show it on my Smackdown Watch and On. I'm going to show it on the Smackdown Rampage review. I wasn't lying. I didn't forget. I'm all about giving my subscribers and my fans what they want to see on the channel. That's what I'm all about. Giving you guys what you want to see. I'm all about streaming games that I want you guys to see that are my favorite games that I look to play. I'm all about doing many things on this channel. Many things, man. There's so many things you haven't seen yet that I'm going to be doing. So many more things, man, to come on this channel. But anyways, AEW Fight Forever has won the Best Sports Racing Game award at the 2022 Games.com Awards. AEW Games recently took to Twitter to announce their achievement and to thank fans for their recognition and support. AEW Fight Forever is set to release later this year on all major consoles and PC. No specific date has been set at this time. So, pretty much, AEW Fight Forever is a pretty much professional wrestling game developed by Yoix and published by THQ Nordic. It is the third overall game from American professional wrestling company All Elite Wrestling. AEW's latest award win will give them enough confidence boost to dive deeper in the video game industry. Tony Khan. So many people shit on Tony Khan. He does not deserve to get shit on. AEW has been a success all because of him and his creative team. But sometimes people can't, there's a right reason why people shit on Tony Khan. Look at these fucking squash matches we're given every week. There's a reason to shit on him there. Look at all these local enhancements getting wasted on TV as jobbers, looking like glittering idiots on TV. There's a reason to shit on them there. Producing terrible television. There's a reason to shit on them there. There's a reason to shit on his show there. You know what I'm saying? If the shit sucks, he's going to get shitted on. That's the reality. If the AEW Dynamite Rampage shows suck, they're going to get shitted on. And he's going to get shitted on. It's life. You have to learn to deal with it and just move on from it. That's all I can say. That's all I can tell you guys. Tony Khan revealed in June that the AEW Fight Forever's roster will be larger than previously announced after signing a slew of new talent in the last few months. New signees were still being added. Stay tuned to Thursday for more updates. Thursday, I'm guessing it's another wrestling source in the community. I don't know these wrestling sources. The only sources I know, the only sources I have is Ringside News. Now, what do you guys think of this award winning? Let me know in the live chat. All right, moving on to the last AEW news for the Saturday evening. This is your last AEW news for your Saturday evening, and this is news on AEW adding a Jon Moxley segment to next week's Dynamite. So it said here that Jon Moxley shocked everyone in AEW Dynamite early this week. He surprisingly defeated CM Punk in under 3 minutes, 9 seconds to win the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. So we will pretty much hear from Moxley on the final Dynamite before All Out pay-per-view on September the 4th. I will be live for that, I think, if I have enough money to buy the All Out pay-per-view on the Bench Report website. It was recently announced on AEW Rampage that Jon Moxley segment will be added to AEW Dynamite on August 31st. The show will also feature a number of additional segments and matches. According to the company, although a rematch with Punk is still anticipated for All Out. Guys, obviously joking with you. I am buying All Out, and I will be live with my All Out watch along. I will be live with my very first All Out watch along. I will, for the first time ever. I can't wait to see how many people I'm going to have in the chat. It's probably going to be a whole bunch. And I hope to God that there are a whole bunch. Hell, I hope to God there are a whole bunch of people in my live chat for next week's Friday Night Smackdown. For my Friday Night Smackdown watch along next Friday night. Now, anyways, CM Punk is still anticipated for All Out. Moxley's debut is undoubtedly the most intriguing given that he lacks a confident, confirmed opponent. Moxley, however, recently dispelled rumors that he will be facing Punk at the event and discussed who he will fight in All Out. The AEW World Heavyweight Championship also revealed that he isn't interested in giving away any spoilers. He is not interested in giving away any spoilers at all. It says here, and I quote, "That's some business I took care of. And the train keeps on rolling. If I knew the challenger, I wouldn't tell you. When I say anyone, anywhere, anything, anytime, let's do it." That's what Jon Moxley says. That's the quote from Jon Moxley. Now, before facing Chris Jericho and All Out. Ryan Danielson will compete on the Dynamite Go Home show against Jack Hager, known as Jack Swagger, from WWE. That was his WWE ring name, Jack Swagger, back when he was in WWE, when Vince was there. Yeah. Coincidence, right? A fellow member of the Jericho Appreciation Society before their massive four-way bout at the pay-per-view. Haru Shida and Tony Storm will pair up against none other than Jamie Hayter and Dr. Britt Baker. This team of Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker is a really, really good team. And I really believe these Thunder Rosa accusations and Britt Baker backstage heat is going to lead to Jamie Hayter turning babyface on Britt Baker at the All Out pay-per-view. That's what I think. I just don't see Jamie Hayter sticking around with Britt Baker any longer. I just don't see it happening. I really don't. From seeing all these Thunder Rosa accusations and Britt Baker backstage heat, I just don't. I can just see Jamie Hayter turning on Britt Baker. I can just see it happen. I can just see AEW making that decision right at that moment. Now, additionally, on September the 4th, the winner team from the AEW Trios Championship Tournament semifinal match between the Elite and United Empire will advance to the championship round. Check out the complete lineups. If you guys look up AEW All Out lineups, some of the wrestling sources have websites to where you can check out the All Out lineup. When I look up the All Out lineup, I will let you guys know live on WWE 2K22 on my IWN YouTube channel, of course. Now, before I get on the hell out of here, I want to show you guys the Kenny Omega versus Adam Cole gameplay video again, because it was one of the best Adam Cole versus Kenny Omega gameplay AEW Fight Forever videos that I've ever seen on AEW Games YouTube channel. The gameplay was so good that I want to show you guys it again. So, let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. Yeah. Gonna put on some music until it's pulled up. All right. There you go, guys. There's some music you can listen to until I pull it up. Just sit back and relax. I'm almost there. All right. Here it is.
There's the
I gotta what is it I can do? Oh, I gotta upload my outro. Okay, let me get that uploaded. Here it is. Close the chat overlay. I'm gonna turn it over to the other tab where it's showing the Kenny Omega versus Adam Cole full match gameplay. Here it is, guys.
Natalya, Rainbow.
Oh, what's doing that? No, doing that. Alright, here it is, guys. Okay, time to call the music. Here it is, guys. Here it is, man. If I can get the fucking full screen pulled up. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Can you guys hear me? I want to make sure you guys can hear me. All right, here we go. On the count of three, we are going to show. I'm going to show you guys the Kenny Omega versus Cole full match gameplay review on the AEW Fight Forever video game on the AEW Games YouTube channel. Here we go, guys. On the count of three, the video is going to play. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, let's not delay any further. I think you know exactly why you came here. You guys want to see some gameplay. You guys want to see some... one-on-one matchup. Well, we have just that. Please, if you can, put the footage on.
Break.
Is that his name?
It is now.
We got Kenny Omega versus Adam Cole lined up for you today in matchup battle today. So you're going to see a full one-on-one match.
Hey fans, here we go.
The two.
An exciting match. Standing making his way to
Up first, Kenny against Adam Cole. I believe this is also the first time we've seen entrances. For these characters.
game is still in development.
That's right. So this game is still in development. This is all some pre-footage. It is not the finalized footage. Right now, we also have the realization AEW coaches will be the ones who teach you things within AEW, within the AEW Fight Forever game. In this instance, obviously, William Regal, the BCC, the coach of the BCC, here to teach us the very basics of pro wrestling. And it is exactly how you think it would work. You have a strike attack, you have a strong strike attack.
See that, guys?
And it is exactly
I'm just now learning it myself. This is Xbox. This is not PS4, PS5.
Do ignore the
For you PS4, PS5 players out there.
Pin is your left bumper, right and left bumper are your reversals for grapples, for strikes, holding any of the buttons, a strong strike or a strong grapple.
Can you guys see the screen?
Are accustomed to playing, if you're my generation at the very least, back in the Nintendo 64 era and stuff, that is exactly how this game plays. You see Adam Cole taunting. So it is very reminiscent of those times. In fact, I didn't even need the tutorial, and I was capable of playing this very, very quickly. You see also the bottom left and right hand side, we have momentum bars. The way momentum for this game is as you build up your arsenal, as you hit more moves like this back body drop that he just performed. your ball will keep going up and up and up. And eventually, if the momentum is right, if you get enough momentum, you'll have the option to then do signature maneuvers.
As I said, I mean, this is just an episode of the game. We did weeks before for this game show, and the build is evolving. We are doing polishing and polish, so yeah, everything continues till we have to polish even one.
Of course. Now, whatever you may think of this footage right now, it's already improved.
This is fucking cool. This is a cool footage. This is some awesome
Kenny obviously
graphics,
has a
man.
big part in what is done.
Absolutely
He's the
fantastic.
creative mastermind.
You gotta love
behind
it.
everything.
I was going to say,
You
you
love
worked
the
with him,
fucking
and he's very hands-on.
What a creative mastermind.
Yeah, definitely is.
Wow.
And we also have
Holy shit, man.
In this story.
spirit he's there for sure.
I love it.
You can see this is a.
I just don't like the
very
fact that they put
typical
mini
AEW
games on there.
Just earlier we
It
saw
needs to be an actual console wrestling game, not a console wrestling game with mini games.
when he does his taunt.
That's what a lot of people fuss about in the community, mini games. I don't blame them for fussing about that.
Here, one. Obviously, Aubrey Edwards.
As long as the game has singles matches, Royal Rumbles,
as
long as we can do online battles on there, we're good to go.
German suplex.
I mean, it was really important to get this.
As long as they got
real
all the
AEW
characters
feeling
on there,
into
man,
the game.
we'll be definitely good to go. And once they have a concept to where we can create our own characters in the game, and they'll download community creations,
Back
man.
elbow from the corner, and so
They need to put that on there. We can download community creations and create our own characters.
very
That concept should be on there.
We're going to see more of Kenny's
AEW Universe mode, that should be on
In
there.
case you're wondering, there it is.
Your chance.
Now, the signature maneuvers I was talking about just there's actually a plethora of great word, by the way, Colt Cabana. A plethora of signature maneuvers. You can do up to 5 different signature maneuvers, and they can be from any direction. Those are activated with
No, Hassan.
You can see
It's
right here,
a
Kenny
Omega versus Adam Cole match gameplay.
At this available
This
we
is
have the
footage
signatures such as the
of the
trigger,
Adam Cole versus
Snapdragon Suplex, and
Kenny Omega
Merge, and
gameplay.
a different
The
version
game
of
is still in
Snapdragon Suplex. And when we
development.
finally get
Footage
to the finisher,
might not be
we'll finally
representative
be able to
of the
unlock
final
Rolling
product.
Angel and
It
various,
says it at the bottom if you read it.
modifications to that move and the V-trigger. This is the first of his signatures. This is the powerbomb into a V-trigger. There we are.
Time for
Now, obviously, hitting your opponent is
Everybody that left the chat, they've already, that's why they left.
Kenny Omega not wanting to end this match just yet.
Meanwhile, you haven't seen it. I'm guessing you're the only one that hasn't seen the
Easy
footage.
to learn, but they are hard to master. And that's the cool thing. I think it's possible for everyone to start playing this game, enjoying this game, but to be really good, you need to spend some time.
In fact, that's true. Now we also have the momentum meter goes to special when you taunt during a signature phase, and so that will turn you into special phase. The special phase is short. You've played his previous games, you understand that you only have a short counter to do these moves. But as you see, we rushed to do the one-winged angel right here on Adam Cole.
Look at that! One week angel. Look at that move from Kenny Omega,
On the
man.
left-hand side,
Holy
it
shit!
expired.
They did a good job with his
And the momentum
moveset.
could be cut
And I can tell they did a good job with Adam Cole's movesets too. I mean, look at the way they're moving in the ring, man. Adam Cole just slapped the back of Kenny Omega's neck. Oh god, that wasn't
As
that.
we want to practice this old school style,
That's right.
and I think we're on a pretty good way.
Now, if you see also at the bottom left-hand side, Kenny's head took damage, so over
Save
time,
money and get you a PS4,
Kenny's head
Hassan.
will take damage, arms will take damage,
It's
legs
worth
will
it,
take
man.
damage, body will take damage, and you
Why you
can
can
make
get a
it easier
PS4 to play
submit.
this game.
So in this example right here, to get out of a submission, you
I don't get me a
master buttons
PS4,
on
you know that.
mini game of sorts. Same with kicking out.
Never had the
Very
money.
good at,
And I'm also getting me a gaming laptop too, so I can be able to install OBS and so I can stream on
at
PC.
rehearsals and stuff. LB,
Yeah, man, PC.
Oh, here we go.
Now, if I'm a button masher, what would I be good at?
You'd be good at striking, for sure. But you'd also be good at kicking out, is what I was getting at before I was kind of
Rudely interrupted by
I was really interrupted by looking at the footage, I'll be
the
honest.
greatness of this game.
Yes.
You guys were really interrupted by looking at the footage. Who says that
I
shit
don't
on
know,
the
I just feel
fucking
it's so cool.
screen?
They have legit t-shirts.
Yes, they actually have AEW Shop.com. You should go and buy a t-shirt there.
Oh my goodness. said he was in the ring to get the food.
You can go to shopaw.com, and all of those t-shirts are, in fact, from our t-shirts. Every, obviously, the crowd has different models for every character. In this instance, you're going to see Adam Cole just hit a signature maneuver right before his brainbuster to the knee.
To the knee!
Signature phase for much longer than it would be in a finisher phase.
Look at that, man. Adam Cole with the...
There's the patella brainbuster.
Patella brainbuster from Adam Cole. Adam Cole, baby. And, of course, it goes on ad. Of course it's going to do that.
Let's talk about better health. If you ever feel anxious, depressed, stressed, overwhelmed by the world being very much on...
And in this instance, boom! He hits the boom from behind the head, and could win this match at this.
It's not over yet.
So like I said earlier, breaking the pinfall is by mashing the button. There you are. You mash fast enough, you can kick out just before 3, making it a 2.9.
I would be the best kick outer in the game.
You would, I'm sure.
Oh, the fan said, holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit!
We've recorded at AEW live shows for the last 3-4 months. You've been to any of our live shows in America. You have not. Wow. You may have been part of working this game. The live crowds got to contribute voices to our video game.
I bet they did.
There's my friend Frank in the crowd. Different Frank.
What we don't see in this demo right now is we also have plenty of weapons in this game. We have 40 different ones.
How many?
Hell yeah!
40 different weapons.
Oh shit! I know what he's about to do.
Way off the top.
Wow!
That has to be it. That absolutely has to be it.
Damn! Top row?
2.
Wow!
3. There it is.
How often we see Kenny Omega do moves like that from the top
that
row?
have been handcrafted in this
On a
game.
video game.
No one does
And
one with Angel.
goodness gracious.
This was crafted off footage of him as well. You see his singles records based on this this one matchup has gone up.
Yeah, that's the actual bottom third.
It is. That is exactly what you will see on AEW television. It's the genuine experience is in this video game.
Wow. That was fantastic. That was absolutely fantastic, man. Brilliant. I love the gameplay. I love how they actually moved the wrestlers in the ring. Kenny Omega, Adam Cole did their thing in the video game. I love it. I cannot wait for this game to come out because I'm so ready to get it. This game is so sick, bro. Oh my goodness. It's better than WWE 2K Battlegrounds. If WWE 2K Battlegrounds would have been like AEW Fight Forever, maybe they would have got more people buying it, but there's not a lot of people buying it. Battlegrounds is trash. I tried it out and I didn't like it. It was trash. Absolutely trash, man. The same goes for those Call of Duty games on the PS4. Anyhow. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting the hell on out of here, man. It's been a great night. It's actually 12:15 in the morning. I'm glad you guys joined me in live chat for my WWE Smackdown Rampage review. I really appreciate that. Now, tomorrow I'll be live streaming WWE 2K22 on YouTube. We are going to continue down the list in ABC order. And I'll tell you where we're going to go from there. Now, before I go to bed, I'm going to at least try to schedule my AW Dark Elevation watch along for Tuesday afternoon. And then later on, I'm going to schedule my AW Dark watch along for Wednesday afternoon. And then I'm going to schedule my Smackdown watch along as well. So everything will be scheduled early this week. So brand new content coming to the IWN YouTube channel this week. Be prepared, guys. Make sure you have on your notifications. And if you're new, hit that subscribe button. I currently have 396 subscribers right now. We are almost at 400. Also, hit that thumbs up. Let's get at least 6 or more likes on the stream. Folks, have yourselves a good rest of your weekend. Have a good start to the week. Have a great Sunday and stay safe always. Stay safe always.